Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a system that could totally change how you write, learn, and even think. It's a method for turning the stuff you read every day into a powerhouse for generating new ideas. And the best part is, it's pretty much effortless. Okay, let's get into it. Right, let's start by tackling the single most feared image in all creative work. This one quote right here, it basically flips a century's worth of writing advice on its head. Of course you have, right? That blinking cursor just mocking you, that huge empty white space. It's a universal feeling of panic for pretty much anyone who has to write anything. But what if I told you that whole feeling, that anxiety, is based on a complete misunderstanding of how writing should work in the first place? And that gets us to the real problem. The reason so many of us struggle is because we've been taught that writing is this straight line that starts with a blank page. But that's not just wrong, it's a trap. So here's the big secret. Most self-help books on writing, they show up way too late to the party. They give you tips for what to do when you're already panicking, but they totally ignore the months, maybe even years, of reading and thinking that should have come first. The real work isn't about filling a blank page. It's about setting things up so the page is never blank to begin with. So to really understand the solution, we've got to talk about a guy who seems to have completely broken the laws of productivity. A German sociologist named Niklas Luhmann. I mean, this man was an absolute machine. Get this. In about 30 years, he published 58 dense, really influential academic books. Many of them are still classics today. And as if that wasn't already insane, he also pumped out over 400 articles. For most academics, that's like several careers worth of work. He did it in 3 decades. And here's where it gets really weird. How could a guy who was that productive claim he only ever did what was easy? That he never forced himself? This incredible output wasn't the result of some heroic struggle. It was the result of a system he built to avoid struggling altogether. So, what was the secret sauce? Well, it wasn't just raw genius. It was a simple but really, really powerful tool he called his Zettelkasten, which just means slip box. Now, it's super important to understand this isn't just a fancy filing cabinet for your notes. An archive is dead. It's passive. A slip box is alive. It's like an external brain, a conversation partner that helps you connect ideas in ways your own mind probably never stumble upon by itself. I mean, listen to how Luhmann himself talked about it. He didn't see the slip box as just some tool he used. For him, the slip box was where the thinking actually happened. The system itself was the engine creating all these new insights. All right, so how does this thing actually work? Let's get practical. The whole system is built around 3 really simple, distinct kinds of notes. Think of it like a funnel. It all starts with what we call fleeting notes. These are just quick little reminders you jot down anywhere, on a napkin, in your phone, whatever. Later, you process those into literature notes, where you summarize what you've read in your own words. This is crucial for real understanding. And finally, you take the absolute best ideas and turn them into permanent notes. These are the crown jewels, the core of your system that you'll connect and build on forever. And this brings us to the biggest mindset shift of all. The point isn't to just collect a bunch of facts like a librarian. The goal is to become a writer who is constantly, actively connecting ideas. So the old way, what you could call archivist thinking, is top-down. You make a folder for psychology and you dump all your psychology notes in there. But that quickly becomes what the book calls a graveyard for thoughts. Ideas just go there to die alone. The slipbox way is bottom-up. You don't file by topic, you link by context. A note on economics might spark a connection to a note on biology. And because of that, the whole system gets smarter and more valuable over time, leading you to these amazing, unexpected insights. A great analogy for this is the shipping container. It's just a simple metal box, right? But by standardizing the workflow of global trade around that one simple box, it completely revolutionized the world economy. The slip box does the exact same thing for our thinking. By standardizing how we capture and connect our notes, we align every single step, reading, thinking, and writing, towards one single goal: generating real insight. Okay, and this might be the best part. This system doesn't run on willpower. You don't have to force yourself to do it. It actually creates its own motivation through a series of really satisfying, positive feedback loops. Think about it like this. Every single step in the process gives you a little reward. When you read with a pen in hand, you're constantly testing if you really get it. When you write a permanent note, you're forced to make your idea crystal clear, and that feels awesome. And then, when you connect that note to other notes, your system starts talking back to you, showing you new questions and ideas. It's this virtuous circle of small wins that makes the work itself feel good. Because in the end, this whole thing is about so much more than just writing papers. As you build your Slipbox, you're also building what's called a latticework of mental models inside your own head. Your notes aren't the only thing getting smarter. You are becoming a clearer, more connected thinker. And we'll end with this wonderfully strange and provocative thought from Luhmann. It perfectly captures what the Slipbox is all about. It's not some static library of facts that you own. It's a dynamic, living system where your ideas are always in conversation, always challenging each other, and always ready to surprise you.